It's all about for me. It's all about for me. It's all about for yeah.
Imagine.
You got on the phone. What's up?
Yo, I was just, and no homo before we start.
Hey, nah.
I was just seeing you blow into the SD card.
Okay.
You know, memories and stuff.
Okay.
The SD card. And it reminded me of us as kids. Nintendo 64, the first thing we used to do.
You had to.
And you put it in and it works.
Yeah.
The CDs for my Dreamcast. Cogía yo un alcohol pad and I used to put it around. And that's probably the one thing it tells you not to do.
Yeah, you a little saliva, you spit on a little, and then you wipe it around. Welcome back to Cama, by the way. Where you wrap, you wipe it on your t-shirt, whatever, and those always work.
Like, I never even knew there was a warning sign behind the cassettes saying, do not do this.
And they used to be able to buy a whole kit, like it taught you how to clean, but
who's gonna do that? I got everything in my house, bro. I got everything in my house.
And then you literally just saw me blow on the thing, and it worked, right? And like you would think, as time changes, that no longer works, but it does.
And you have your stuff, like you have it in little. No es que tú lo tienes tirado ni nada like us. Like tú lo tienes en su cassette, very well protected and everything else.
And the other day with the PS5, I don't know what my nephew did. It was probably his fault, but for whatever reason, it wasn't working. And I literally went to the back and I blew on it.
And it started working.
Maybe it's like a small little piece of dust that gets stuck at a specific spot that makes it not work. I don't know what it is, but
maybe they put that warning so you can go and buy another game instead of thinking about blowing it. Like, who's the first person that was like, yo, I'm gonna just blow on this shit?
Well, whoever thought of it, it works. And it works anywhere. Whether you're in a relationship and something's wrong, blow.
Until she can't no more.
Or blow him until he can't no more, and things will get better. But the weather, it's not getting better. I would say it's kind of worrying. It's warm. It's supposed to be cold. It got cold for a while, and then it just started getting warmer again. It's kind of better, like, right? You never want the cold weather, yeah. But we do have all 4 seasons here in New York. Something's wrong.
Something is wrong. Now, if you can think about, let's say, the summer, do you think the summer started early or late?
I think the summer started early.
Early?
Yes.
Okay, because if it started late, then I can see we're kind of like, in maybe 10 years, we have to call summer, winter, winter, summer. Like, it'll be winter during fall. No, it'll be summer during fall season, like October. November, December, January.
We're November, and it was literally, 67 the other
Entonces,
day?
el frío, ¿cuándo que va a venir? Va a venir in July. That's what I'm saying. We don't know what to expect this year now.
Global warming.
We
have to get on Noah's Ark and get all the animals. We have to save the animals. Get some trees. What's your favorite animal?
Funny, because you have a turtle. When I was younger, it used to be a turtle. And now I just really want a puppy.
A puppy? But what, like some exotic animal, like an elephant or giraffe. Like, I fuck around with an elephant.
A penguin.
A penguin?
Not really, but I just thought about the penguin.
You have to be cold.
No, que se quede para allá. I don't know.
Or giraffe. I fucks with a giraffe. They mad, like, they got a long ass neck.
You know what sleeps weird?
What sleeps weird?
And I'm so sorry, but I just saw this exotic animal when I was back in DR at the hotel. Flamingos.
A flamingo? I've never seen a flamingo.
A flamingo? It's so crazy. Con una pata para, and with his head, he does like, I thought I slept, because I sleep like that kind of, I sleep so weird, but they put like their whole head, como que lo dobla, in a 4, and then they rest in their like tummy area.
Right, they do one of those?
Yeah, well, that's fine, because I kind of sleep like that all twisted too. But what got to me was, why are you sleeping with 1 foot up? Aren't you better balanced with 2 feet on the ground?
Well, that's the thing. They're kind of like, they got skinny, long legs, and then they got long-ass necks that could fold that way.
Right into the body.
And that's probably, like, sometimes I'd be at home laying down, and I feel like my back, in order for it to fix itself, I need to, like, be folded. Like, you ever seen the movie Space Jam? with Michael Jordan, not the LeBron James one.
I ain't even bother with the LeBron James one.
The Monstars, they literally fold him up and turn him into a basketball.
Oh, and then they shoot him?
Yeah, I feel like somebody needs to crumble me up, yes. Because my back's been hurting lately. And I'm not that old yet to be feeling that
What
much
do you think
pain.
it is? Like, the way you're sleeping?
Just being fat. Yeah.
The
way sitting. I sit a lot, work.
And it's a lot about the posture too. Like
the posture.
Even when we're walking, like me, even when I'm walking, I'm like, oh shit. Like, but what happened with me with that? So when I was in middle school, había una chamaquita. She was like 12, but she thought she was 16, and she would walk around like that, like with her chest all popped up. And I'm like, yo, I don't want to be like that at all. Like, I don't want to be. First of all, I don't have much up here, but even if I did, I don't want to be like, yo, look at my double D's. Like, no. So after that, I'm like always kind of like this a little bit, but posture has a lot to do with the body ache and everything else.
What
you do yoga?
Yoga? No. I don't do exercise, which is actually another part. Like, I used to play baseball and shit all day, but niggas get old and they forget about playing sports, forget about exercising, and all we want to do is eat, fucking sleep. Yeah.
But it's also like you said, we have 4 seasons in New York. It's not like we can be like, all right, after work, I'm going to go and play ball, even though we don't do it during the summer.
You could go to the gym, I could go to the gym. I could work out at home. Yeah. But I choose not to. Well, what I was going to say is, about the whole Noah's Ark thing, we got to save the animals. I want to save the elephants. And then you mentioned the girl about with her boobs. Do elephants have titties? Because I know cows, you milk them. Those are their titties, right?
Those are their titties.
And dogs have titties too, the female dogs. Elephants, the female elephants, do they have titties?
I don't think so, but then where would the little, the little kids, where would they like... The little kids.
The baby elephants?
Where would they
I'm not sure.
That's interesting.
And then I think we spoke about Two Broke Girls before that show. They had a horse in their backyard the whole time. Like,
Two Girls, One Cup?
Two Girls, One Cup. Just Two Broke Girls, the show.
Two Broke Girls.
It's a show. It's a comedy. But they had a horse. She had a horse in her backyard for like the whole season.
And she wouldn't do any, like she wouldn't ride it.
She it was a big thing at the beginning, I think, about her horse, but you would see it like very rarely. Yeah. So it's like, are we able? No, you can't have a horse.
No, so I was gonna tell you, I have a friend, she's from Florida, and she's a nurse, and she told me that a lot of Floridians have pets that are horses. Like, literally register, like, that's my pet. I own them.
They have the space for it.
They have the space for it. Like, can I have one here, basically, is what you're asking?
I don't think so.
I mean, if I make the space for it.
Or, like, you just leaving it outside. Like, let's say when it gets cold, you buy it. Whatever horses wear when it gets cold, if they even wear anything.
I think about that.
No? Can I have a horse parked? Or, like,
Or am I going to get a ticket for, like, parking the wrong way?
like, I be thinking of, like, or let's say Florida, like can you have like an elephant? Can you own an elephant? You can't own like these exotic animals like tigers and shit, like the Tiger King.
Only Tiger King.
You seen Tiger King?
I love Tiger King.
I haven't watched those.
Part 2 is coming.
Yeah,
so
that's what I'm saying.
You should
I should probably watch the first one, but
it was strangely addicting.
Strangely, I don't know what it's about. Like, I don't know.
Rednecks.
Yeah, that's pretty much. That's all I know. That's the guy I see at the cover. But an elephant, I would want an elephant. But I was thinking, cleaning up an elephant.
Cleaning up an elephant shit.
Exactly.
Because I've seen donkey and horse shit. That's big.
And it stinks.
And
you smell that from a mile away. Like, you don't even have to be next to the horse.
So imagine a horse.
That stinks. And then
I mean, imagine an elephant, like a horse.
Imagine these big exotic animals here in New York, where people have dogs and they don't clean after their dogs. Imagine not cleaning up after a elephant.
I think that's why
horse or giraffe.
I think that's why we can't have them. Like, honestly, going back to your question about my favorite animal, besides really wanting a puppy, I really wanted a monkey.
A monkey?
A monkey. And a monkey, tú sabes, small enough, not some chimpanzee, huge, like human. Yeah, none of that. A little one.
Little monkey.
He fits in my house.
The ones that jump around on your shoulder and don't listen. Those are cute, I guess.
And then you could train them or whatever, and it fits in a house, and you clean after them, and they're not outside. You don't have to leave it parked or.
But they're curious. I feel like they'll escape. You know, they see your window open. The
And then
first chance they get, you know, a dog will like be curious, but they wouldn't leave.
jump.
Yeah.
No, like she feeds me and she bathes me.
A monkey will just go, and you'll have a monkey on the loose, and then you won't have your monkey anymore.
But why is it illegal? Because then there'll be a whole bunch of monkeys in the loose? Well, although I've seen people like own the little ones I'm telling you about.
I'm sure it's bigger than that, you know, with exotic animals or wild animals. Like, they can't, they'll die. They can't be like domesticated or tamed. Like, they need that freedom. It's like with my turtle. Like, depending on size of your turtles, you have to buy a bigger tank because you're not going to have a big ass turtle with, like, let's say a 25-gallon tank. That's just not going to work. Like, they need that freedom.
And you only have that one, right? Or you have
more? Yeah, no, I only have her. Okay. And I have the 75-gallon tank, which I believe is still small. Even though I have, like, her own basking area, which is also 75 gallons. But, yeah.
So do you think what they do, like, in the Manhattan Zoo, Tiger Kings, although you haven't seen it, like, just keeping these big animals encerrado? Aunque sea the maintenance that you're going to give it, aunque sea the space, tenerlo encerrado.
I have mixed feelings. So again, you know, I have my turtle. I be feeling bad for my turtle because she doesn't have turtle friends. She can't hang out with her turtle. She can't live her true life. However, I am taking care of her. So she's not living a terrible life.
Right.
She's not living, you know, the life she's supposed to, but she's also not living a bad life because I am providing all the necessary nutrients and care and whatever else.
And 70-pound gallon.
Yeah, making sure that she's good, you know. And I'll play with her. I'll take her out, like, outside my room.
Okay.
And, like, she's good.
Okay.
So, like, with the zoo and, like, you go to these tour places to see dolphins or whatever, like, I have mixed feelings about those things because those activities are fun.
Yeah.
Watching dolphins
for you
are fun, exactly, for you, and to like what they train them to do. It looks like they're having fun as well.
And it's not like domestically, like I'm whipping you if you don't catch the fish.
Exactly, and I'm sure maybe they probably do have fun.
Yeah,
but after a certain point, like that ends, right? There's no. You have to wait till the next day. So these dolphins or whatever, they're like trapped there until the next day.
Next show.
Which is like, that's basically their freedom when they get to perform, basically, because they do all these different tricks. They be swimming wild, but then that's it. No more people. Nobody's like, they're just there swimming in a little ass square.
And that's it.
And
then probably training a couple of hours
so I feel like we need to know about these animals, you know? Let's take the time, go to the zoo, learn about these animals. But then I feel bad for the animals because it's like they're not really living their truth.
They got caught. Hay otro que, they didn't make it because they probably got hunted or whatever. And there's others that are out there, you know, like
and
in
then
the world.
I see videos, like after a certain time, they release them to the wild. And it's like...
Do they really?
I think they do, but they're not prepared. So
because like, they've been in like, that environment the entire
and it's like
time.
They're like, oh, let's say this line is getting old. Let's make room for this new, stronger lion. So they take this new, stronger lion and they literally leave this old lion.
That's kind of what they do to us.
What do you mean?
You work for so many years and then we gotta let you go because the new millennium knows a lot more than you do.
But I think working at the zoo or like veterinary, some shit with animals is
it's probably fun because you're not exciting, but kind of like, you know, it's a good form of therapy, just like playing with pets.
You're connecting with a different species. Yeah, like.
So one of my favorite movies as a kid,
I still have Doolittle?
And I still have it in VHS. Is Free Willy.
Free Willy.
Didn't like it.
It's alright.
They got to communicate.
I wouldn't say that's my favorite movie.
I mean, just because I still have it in VHS. I have Titanic, so it's still like one of my favorite movies.
Those are killer whales. Those are orcas. And those, you know, you heard about the whole thing about SeaWorld or Ocean World, whatever it is. Like, people forever be trying not to like have them there because they need the space to grow, to swim.
And
They're just
SeaWorld
trapped
is
in
only
yeah.
so big
So,
for that
exactly.
one
I
animal.
think it's for Free Willy is not is literally about that.
So it sounds about right. Yeah, because
Yeah,
he was
they
he
trying
was
to free him. Free
yeah
Willy trying
yeah.
to free
I
Willy.
forgot the boy's name, but he's trying to free him. He sees
Yeah.
him. He works there because he was like
Mm-hmm.
he was doing stuff he wasn't supposed to do, and then they give him a job there, and he sees that, and he kind of communicates with him or feels for him or whatever. So then he breaks in the middle of the night to kind of free him, and then he frees.
And he
He's like,
frees
free
Willy.
Willy.
Yeah, they can't be trapped because it's not fair.
It's not, and you would be in the whale's mind, like in the movie, and he's just like all the people knocking.
Mm-hmm.
Imagínate, you in a cubicle and everybody knocking. Hey, fishy, fishy, fishy.
But you know what's like? What if they that ass like that?
And
Like
we have no idea.
you always have these experts like, oh, this shark or whale shouldn't be trapped. They're endangered or this and this and that. And it's
we
like,
can read their
do,
mind.
yeah, do we really know? Like, it's just mad
That's
fun.
interesting.
But what I was gonna
Like
say,
a dog. Like, don't you ever see a dog and be like, what's going on through their head? Or even your turtle.
oh my, I think
I'm
I told
sure
this story once.
your turtle has been a witness to a lot of things.
That I wonder, yes. I wonder, like, if she'd be like, we would be down to, like, switch. Like, let me be a turtle and let me be a human.
Would you be down to switch?
Yeah.
Okay.
As
Just
long-
because you're the owner and you take care of
Yes.
her.
Yeah. I think
Okay.
she'll treat me good for a day.
Okay.
Or maybe she'll, like, oh,
You're
let me
staying like that forever.
yeah, let me show you how it feels, huh?
Yup,
I
yup.
start doing like stupid shit, but like working in a zoo or any animal place or whatever. What are other animal places? A park ranger? No, a park ranger? No, I don't know. Those
Zoo.
a zookeeper, a veterinarian,
I would say like even in my farm back in DR.
a farm. Yeah, we
yeah,
have
a
a
farm.
farm.
Like the chickens, and then you pick the chicken you want to eat. The pigs.
I feel like cleaning,
That's
It's-
more work than actually like giving them food and everything
and
else.
like we said before,
Mantenimiento.
the mojones, the big pieces of doodoo from fucking horses, elephant, whatever you got, like.
It's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much. And then where do you dispose that of? Like where do you dispose
Facts.
it?
That's a good question. Where
Porque
does all shit go? Like I've seen videos where people have these whole fucking suits where they're like,
yeah, I
Yeah.
think I know exactly what you're
but
talking
like
about.
yeah, like I think I've said this as well before. I say a lot of shit. Like soon, like everything's just gonna be shit.
Shit. A world full of shit.
Yeah, like niggas, we're gonna have like that movie with Matt Damon. He's like he goes to Mars or whatever. It's probably called Mars. Although every time we name a movie or some shit, we get it
We're
like
wrong.
wrong. But he's like composting, so he plants his doodoo to survive, to eat, to make food. So it's like
Okay.
like I'm sure
Interesting.
people are doing that now. Like
Okay, and this is the example que yo iba a poner ahora. Y maybe that has something to do with it. Pero la letrina. So in my farm, they do letrinas. I was always curious, what is, like, how do you even make a letrina? My family finally told me. So you dig a hole,
on the ground.
couple of inches
Deep.
down, not inches, feet down, deep, deep, deep. Entonces la gente va cagando, until it goes up. So the more you use it, the more
Exactly.
funkier it gets. And then they kind of seal it out, and then they pick a new place.
And you
So entonces, ponen a plantar
Yeah.
una mata de plátano
right there,
with the shits.
literally.
With the shits.
And I think that's healthy in a way.
Protein, like
Yeah,
protein.
yes.
Yeah.
Which
Lo
is
que
funny.
sea.
We eat shit to shit.
Literally.
You 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 shit.
Okay, or something so
You
simple.
shit.
Pretty much. That's how the cycle works. Like even in the ocean, you see how the fishes, they eat the little plants and blah blah blah, and then we eat the fish, and then somebody eats us, and you know what
like
I mean?
the
Yeah, a whole
food,
cycle.
Yeah. I
Because
forgot
even
what's
when
that
we
called.
flush it now, where does that go?
Yeah, I'm sure it goes to the sewers. There's this whole place where there's just a whole bunch of doo-doo. But it's like, what happens
Where
to
did
that?
they
How
dispose
do
of
you how do you get rid of doo-doo? Do you burn? You can't burn
You
doo-doo.
can't burn doodle. That's interesting.
And like burning anything stinks. Imagine burning something that already stinks, doo doo,
And piles and
and piles
piles
of
and
doo doo,
piles
and
of
a
it.
mixture of
Everything else that goes. Period blood.
period blood,
Piss,
hairs, piss,
throw up.
fingernails, throw up in the toilet. That's a fact.
That's a fun
Because
fact
you
to
do a
find.
lot of things in the toilet.
Oh, we live in a.
We did a. That's funny to me though. We like.
And we just try to break it up now. Like
a plant base, right? We're basic. Imagine having a garden, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we could call this garden not the greenhouse. We call it green ass, basically. Green ass, right?
It's full of shit that comes out your asshole.
You have a garden, plants. I just spit with, the dirt or the soil is your shit.
And it just produces more soil, I guess. The shit mixed with the soil, it produces.
The soil. So let's say you plant a naranja, some oranges or whatever you want to cook, and you put it in your shit, which is the soil. So you're putting all these different seeds in your shit
for it to grow. Something that you're gonna consume to shit again.
Yeah. So like let's say I'm an apple tree or some shit. Like, does this apple have part of my shit? Am I eating a shitty apple?
Por eso que lavarlo bien. Pero that's not the problem. It was brought up with the shits already.
That's
so
what
it's
I'm saying.
inside. And
then we're here consuming shit, our own shit, and then we shit out our own shit.
Now, how many times have Jose said shit in the last 10 seconds? You know what's funny? Talking about eating and producing and Have you ever ate corn? Maybe so much corn.
Yes.
Que salía así igualito. Why? If I bite into the corn, I'm not swallowing corns like that. I'm biting into the corn. So why is it that I see a whole corn?
It doesn't whatever.
Is that why it's fed to like the chickens and stuff?
Well, I don't know.
Now we're getting into
what does that even mean? Feed corn to the chickens
because it's cheap, and then it makes them fatter or something.
No,
I don't know.
I'm like, what that has to do with their shit? We're eating chicken shit.
The conclusion is that we're eating a lot of shit.
No, yeah, but that I always wondered as a kid, like I just ate this corn. I destroyed this corn with my mouth, but yet somehow it came out whole. That is interesting because I could get it. Okay, our enzymes or whatever the fuck. I'm just throwing out words. Doesn't properly break down the corn, right?
But your teeth did already.
Exactly. But my teeth did the job. So I should see pieces of corn, not the whole
and it pokes out at you all the time. It's not like it's inside the shit.
It'll be a whole bunch
it'll
like wrapped around.
Just looking at you like, yo.
Literally shit
I
full
redid
of corn.
myself. What's up?
Or corn, would it be a shit full of corn or corn full of shit?
Depending how much corn you see in the shit.
Okay, so
if it's a lot of corn,
it's a corn. More shit than
it's a corn full of shit.
It's a
corn full of shit.
It's
a shit full of corn. It's a shit full of corn.
I don't know. Both terms are probably right. Well, that's just funny.
Or like when we were younger, right? Mm-hmm. And I was just chewing gum, which I shouldn't have during the show. But you ever had your parents tell you don't swallow the gum because then you're gonna have like a bubble gum tree, whatever? Like even gum. What's up with that when you swallow it? Like why doesn't it stay attached to like on its way down? You know, like kind of doing webs and shit.
It probably does because you're not supposed to chew gum, so it probably takes.
Not supposed to swallow gum.
Right? Well, whatever. Okay. You're supposed to chew gum, guys. Please don't swallow. So it probably takes long. So it probably stays there longer than it should. So then probably the other food that you eat doesn't get properly digested, and that could fuck up some more shit.
Okay.
So when you eat that corn, it's gonna get stuck to the gum, and you won't see it in your shit.
And then that's when it builds up again, and then it comes out, and it's like, yo, hello, I'm a corn full of shit, a shit full of corn.
Or you ever wondered? I think I've said this before. Why doesn't glue stick to the inside of the bottle?
Oh, that one's good.
Like,
why is water wet?
Why is water wet?
Wait, going back to the whole shitting and stuff or the stomach. I saw this weird ass show where this girl was addicted to eating her hair. Was it
1,000 Ways to Die or just My Strange Addiction?
My Strange Addiction,
okay.
but 1,000 Ways to Die goes hard.
There was literally
I'm still
more. I think
scared
there's
for
more
some.
than 1,000
Yeah.
ways to die because niggas they died. I saw this one episode where two people were having sex and they both died.
Un ataque o algo.
Yeah,
Something fell.
yeah, the
Like,
rush or whatever they were feeling, like
and then they give you the statistic, which is the most like fun part. Not the statistics, pero sino
the
this.
percentage.
Yeah, like this. Yeah.
Like this happens
because of this and. Where do they even get this? Like, they go to the hospital and be like, "Can you give me a report on how this person died?" And then, this is a strange way. Let's put it on 1,000 ways to die.
Probably some of it was like maybe exaggerated because most of it was kind of like funny. They would do like the acting would be mad funny. Like I also remember this one time, some woman had a fetish of like people throwing up. Like, that actually exists. I've seen many videos. Don't ask me why I've seen many of those porno videos.
2 girls, 1 cup.
Those things actually exist, and it's gross. I remember this episode. You know, they were throwing up on her, but I guess the guy had a big ass piece of sausage or whatever that came out of the throw up, and she started choking.
Caught it?
Yeah, she caught it in her mouth.
They definitely exaggerate.
And she caught it. She started, but that's just gross to me.
Oh, was that even like? I mean, it was in a weird channel.
It was on
too,
Spike, I think.
Spike.
Yes.
I'm like, yo, like I can think about like maybe Nickelodeon at night, and then somebody watching this. Like, why would you want your like little kid to be watching 1,000 Ways to Die? Like, why were we watching 1,000 Ways to Die at that age?
We were curious.
Right after MTV, Spike.
And our parents were asleep. Yeah, you ever watched there was this website where you could see like weird like death shit. Was it? No, I was gonna say Rotten Tomatoes. That's a movie, but I think it was called Rotten.com or some shit. Where you used to be able to see like nasty shit like dying or like it was
But it was one of the things where we had to
you just went because all the teens were doing it, like your siblings or your cousins. So, you witnessed that at that time.
One of those that traumatized me for a while. And I was I wouldn't say like, I went on it more than once.
My strange addiction.
It starts with a C. I can't remember the name, but it's basically with the web camera. And I would never do it at home. I think the last time I did it was one of my first job after high school. And I was working in an attorney's office. And I was there all day, like literally, basically nothing to do. So my sister came to visit me one day and they had la computadora with the camera. I'm like, yo, you remember when we used to go back on that? It's CEN.
So basically, one where you switch.
Yeah, like
you see random people.
Yes. So then you would see people weird. Like that would be the quickest skip I would ever do. But like Indians jerking off. And then
they showed their whole body.
Yeah, yo,
like,
it's crazy. It's crazy, and then oh my god, and then you like switch, and it'll be like a 6-year-old boy, like fuck you.
Oh wow.
Like it was just that, but it would switch all the time, and then you decided whether you wanted to extend the time, right, or like skip them.
I really remember that. But I've never did that.
I would never do it home because I'm like, yo, they're gonna trace me. They're gonna know exactly where I live. No.
Oh,
so I would always do it somewhere else, but it's just like. La cosa que la gente inventa, because you know how many people like.
Have you ever like when you were younger, or maybe even now, you ever
maybe
has anyone like strange ever like not a scam, like we get those all the time, but has someone like try to like message you to like, hey,
like I can be your sugar daddy or something like that.
Yeah, like something like
but
they weren't that creepy, but like
it's too good to be true.
Oh, not even too like it wasn't that creepy, but if you continue,
it could have gotten creepy.
It's gonna be creepy type shit.
Yeah.
Or a time where somebody was pretending to be who they weren't, like similar to like a catfish. But let's say it was like an old ass man trying to be like a little girl.
No, so when I was on the dating app for a little bit, like. This guy, like, you see some pictures and you be like, kind of like it's too good to be true. Like, you probably not really on this dating app looking like that.
Or you see 3 different like names and they have the same picture.
Oh, then you're catching up to somebody. But and then like the conversation was going, and then when they asked each other, like, okay, so let's hang out. You feel it out. You don't. And then they hit you with the, oh, suck my dick, and then, or something like that, and then they delete their own profile because obviously
Girls
they
get
didn't
that a
get you.
lot, though.
Yeah.
I remember being in high school and like,
just sending the suck my dick.
Oh no, not me. I'm
Oh.
saying like you would see like some dude trying to talk to a girl, and she would say, "Ew, fuck out of here," or some shit. And they were like, "What you mean, fuck?" And they would go mad hard. And
They get
start
upset.
telling
I
this
just
girl
read something in the
everything.
news, and I'm so sorry, but this shit just like some guy asked for some girl's number while she was walking, and she said no. Y él yo creo que le dio golpe.
Oh no.
I'm like, really? Is that serious? Like your ego is really that like?
It's scary times out here. I've seen.
I mean, I always say
in the
thank you,
news.
and I say thank you just because I don't know if you're a psycho, but I don't like entertain it. I don't be like, yo, thank you.
Oh, so you say thank
No,
you
I
just
say-
so you can make it home.
Thank you, and start walking like 5. Yeah, I say thank you. I'm not rude, but I'm not gonna entertain it.
Okay. Have you ever been followed or like somebody just kept looking at you?
I thought I was once on my way
Stalking you.
from work.
Mm-hmm.
I decided to take a local train instead of waiting 15 minutes
For the private train?
for the,
For
the express.
Okay.
And then ended up, I'm like, all right, if I take this local to this, then I'll catch up with the express that comes in 15 minutes. I was completely wrong. My math, my whole blueprint was wrong.
That's when you knew.
And that's when I knew, yes. And then I stop and I wait for the express after a couple of stops.
Mm-hmm.
Standing up, I'm like, all right. Some guy's like next to me. And like he's looking through papers through his thing. And I'm just like, just watching him, but like pretend like I'm not watching him. Then I walk a little bit, go sit down.
And he moved too?
And he comes and he sits down.
Nah.
And I'm like, I like to keep it in the middle.
Of course.
In the middle.
You need space to react.
No, come on. In the carts, in the middle. Like in the middle of the train, basically.
Okay.
Or like kind of in the front. So I started a little bit in the front.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle. And now I'm so creeped out that I'm at that like almost last cart. And I wouldn't go to the last cart just because.
You were switching carts?
No, this is before I get on the train.
Before you get on the train. Okay, I was confused.
Before I get on the train.
I'm like, if I would have moved one cart and he...
But this is where it gets crazy.
I'm like, you kept playing with him.
This is where it gets crazy. So I'm like in the first 2 carts.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I first see him. He's playing with the receipt. Blah, 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 blah. And I just feel like como que me está mirando mucho. And this, I just didn't get that good energy.
You felt bad energy.
And my blueprints is already fucked up.
Your blueprint, you fucked it up big time.
So I go and I move to the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Where the seats are, and I sit down.
Okay.
Nobody sitting there. One person, a lo mejor ahí. Oh, like there's 6 seats.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's here. I leave one empty, one here.
So they
leave
could,
one empty.
Exactly.
Like kind of you guys when y'all go to the bathroom, like that.
Yes.
No, el tipo se me sienta al lado.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, nah. So
And is this recently during COVID?
Yeah, it was like, I would say during the summer.
Damn.
And then I'm like, all right, I'm going to wait till the train is like 2 minutes so then I can get up, walk to the end, and then get in the cart.
Mm-hmm.
I walk. I don't see him. I'm like, good. I'm chilling. I sit down. I'm like, I'm good. I sit down.
He whispers in your ear.
Loco, the next stop, he gets into my cart.
You're lying.
So, like, he was already in the train.
Mm-hmm.
He gets out, goes in. And I'm like, nah. I literally FaceTime my sister. I'm like, here's a picture of him. If I go missing, it was him. I literally said that. I screenshotted it. I sent it to her. I'm like, yo. And I was just so uncomfortable. I've been in New York my whole life. I take trains.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been so uncomfortable. But he finally got out. Okay. Like a few stops later, and I was like, okay, because if not, I was gonna get out.
So it was just a coincidence.
No, it was a weird ass coincidence. He probably thought I was gonna get off where he got off or something like that, but I don't know. It was just weird, and I've never felt more uncomfortable in my life.
I'm sure it was a good
no.
It happens like I've been like on the train or bus or even in my elevator at home, like. You could see someone feeling uncomfortable. Like, let's say if they press the button, you press the same thing, and then they get off and you get off. Like you're going the same direction. Like sometimes, like it's like I live there too type shit.
Yeah, but it's like you have 15 minutes to stay where you're at or stay in the second spot where I'm at. But don't go inside the train already in the like third situation where I'm at, and then get out to go inside the car.
But I get that. Like, let's say you were paranoid, right? Mm-hmm. So you're like, let me go to the second car, whatever. And let's say that man or whatever
was paranoid too.
Literally paranoid too, or he's superstitious. Let's say I only like to take the second card type shit,
yeah,
or some weird ritual. They have OCD, like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like you never know. So like that has happened to me where people probably were uncomfortable because I mean they probably thought I was gonna do something, but it's like nah, like I just gotta go here,
right?
Or I live here, you know.
I know, as a female traveling, or whatever, or just I try not to think about like maybe this is just a coincidence.
Maybe he's a good person. No, of
Yeah,
course not.
I try to think ahead of the game, and that's why I'm glad I was brought up in New York in that sense because I'm a little more.
You street smart? Let me ask you.
A little bit.
Let me ask you that. Let's what's a conversation we should have?
Street smart.
Yeah, a lot of people confuse street smart with like an education or
scenario.
Some shit.
I don't know, random scenario. You're walking the block, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you feel that somebody is following you. Not a coincidence, but somebody is following you. And there's a grocery store, but right from the grocery store, 2 houses down is your home. Do you go home or do you go to the grocery store?
Wait, say that. I'm so confused.
Okay. So you come out the train.
Come out the train.
There's a corner store. 15 feet away.
Mm-hmm. But what's in the...
But 2 houses down is your house. Are you going to your house or are you going to the corner store?
But what do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
What's going on?
Somebody's following you.
Oh, somebody's following. Oh,
I started off with that.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I'm confused. I didn't hear. I'm going to the corner store.
Okay.
Why would I go to my house?
You questioned me first. I'm like, wait, that's the first thing I said.
No, but that's what I was going to ask you.
It's not a coincidence. Somebody's following you.
Do you consider yourself to be street smart, or do you think you're just book smart or intelligent? You have an education.
I think I have a balance.
You have a balance?
Yeah, I'm not the smartest book smart
gal,
but I am a college graduate, so that means something, 4 years in, but I'm
4 years in. Mm-hmm.
But also, like, I think I'm street smart. Like, I've been in certain scenarios where I've noticed certain things moving funny, and I've gotten out of there beforehand.
Okay, so let me ask you this. I'm gonna ask the people out there too. Can you have an education, right? Like
education.
You went to went to Harvard, Yale, etc. Whatever. You're the top person in that class.
Mm-hmm.
You got the best job ever. You're intelligent, right? When it comes to book stuff.
Yeah.
But let's say in the streets,
you're not so much.
You're dumb. Can that actually be a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I agree.
And there could be street smart. And because you spend your entire life in the streets, you're not book smart whatsoever.
Of course, that's for sure.
I think it's good to have a balance of both. How about you?
Absolutely.
You consider yourself more street or...
No, book? Like you. I think I'm where obviously if you watch the show, we're fucking dumb. But I consider that I'm both.
Yeah.
You gotta have it. I think you more than anything, more than book smart or whatever. I think you should. It's because part of being street smart, so they say, is a lot of it is common sense.
También.
Because it's like, let's say, even if you don't think the person is following you, let's say. I don't know.
The way you move.
Do something. Don't go your usual route.
Yeah.
Or don't make it obvious.
You know what? We're gonna give you guys tips 101.
101?
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
On how to be street smart.
Imagine we
Cama lounge version.
Imagine we do that and that we just give out like mad wrong answers. The total opposite.
And people start following them like, yo, I got robbed the other day. Fuck you mean do this.
Fuck me, that's mad funny.
That's funny.
Or maybe you have to be micama smart.
Ooh. I think if they're subscribed, they're Mikama. If you're watching, you're Mikama smart. For sure.
If you're watching. But if you're not watching, then you're just book smart or intelligent smart.
Yeah. Not even...
Well, not really intelligent book smart, because if you were intelligent or book smart,
you'd be watching Mikama Lounge too.
And you would type in Mikama Lounge. You will find
we're
us.
Everywhere.
Yeah. You know what? If you're in school right now, do a book report. I'm not.
I came across this podcast, and there's this alien always hanging out with these 2 kids.
What's that shit that you have to do?
Book report.
No, when
book summary.
Can I finish it?
I want to guess it.
When you want to get your PhD, there's something you have to write.
Oh,
no.
Then we're not book smart.
Yeah, we're not. I feel it's right at the top. I'm pretty sure I said it many times before, but I can't Figure it out.
I know exactly
It's
what you're
gonna
talking
kill
about.
me. They're gonna make fun of us so hard. It's
I
all
know
good.
exactly what you're talking about.
We're gonna press stop
And Google it really quick.
No, we're gonna know the word as soon as we like stop recording.
Yeah. And then we gotta press play again and then just put it in.
I'm writing my. I test no.
Oh, thesis.
A thesis. There you go. Ah, you're smart. You're smart. I'm dumb.
We should write a thesis on micamalounge.
A micamalounge thesis. We should get our PhD.
Yeah.
Our
What would make you a PhD official for micamalounge?
What?
You know, like official.
What would make me a PhD?
Like what would pass? Like what would exactly.
What would I get a PhD from micamalounge?
Yeah, or like what makes you PhD qualified?
What makes me PhD qualified?
For
I remember in school, I used to, like in high school, I used to tell people I got my PhD in pussyology.
Él no ha cambiado, mi gente. He has not changed.
That's the most like lamest, like, you know, like at that time I'm like, yo, I'm so cool, I'm so creative, like I got my PhD
but you
in
are.
pussyology.
I would have just said pussy. You went all the way pussyology.
No, I know, but like as an adult now, you're like so cringe. Like, did I really say this? Like,
it's been worse.
I go back and I'm like,
You ever wonder? I kind of want to, before I get too old and start forgetting a lot of shit, start writing it down.
Writing down? Yeah.
Which is why I'm happy that we do micamalounge. Because I could be like, yo, in the beginning of 2021, I was like this. And then now I'm like that. Or whatever the case might be. But
what I always wanted to do, I'm going to do with my kids, a time capsule.
Oh, like when they get pregnant? Ooh.
No, that's not what that is.
Yeah, like
that's casting.
No, the time where her belly grows, like literally 1 month pregnant.
Oh, that's a time lapse.
Oh,
a time capsule. A time capsule when, like, let's say me and you were like 2 years old right now, right?
Okay.
And we wrote a letter to each other, and we made agreements. We took pictures. We did this. That we're gonna be this when we do it, and we bury it when we're 2 years old, right? And now that whatever age we are right now, we open it.
Can I tell you something?
What? You have that?
We did that in 9th grade in English.
No, that's
class.
what I'm saying. Yeah, he gave us letters in 9th grade,
and he was like, "We want you to open it." Yeah,
and it was like pretty cool.
I was like, I don't know what else to say, but the bell just rang. I'm going to lunch. That's how I ended it.
I put a piece of gum in mine, and it was still there. That shit was like hard as a rock, and it melted like a little bit of the envelope on the side, but I could still like read it. And like it was just so cool.
That's cool.
So like imagine, like I think when I get my kid, I want to do that, you know. So,
I think even us, that's where like journaling
we should do a Cama Lounge time capsule. Yeah, fucking yeah. And then let's dig a hole and then read it when we're like 50.
Dig a hole, that shit was funny.
No, dig a hole to bury our shit.
But how do we know? Like, things are changing. We started talking about the climax and global warming. Things are changing so much.
We're gonna pick a spot. We're obviously gonna mark it. And we're not gonna dig it deep in where the fucking latrina goes, where they get it confused.
But
with
what
the
if
doodle.
some like rich person comes, I want to buy real estate there. Bam. Okay. And then in order for us to get that car, he's like, I'm selling you this whole house.
Oh, they dig it out with the fucking trucks and that shit is long gone inside of a fucking building they built or something.
If anything, I think you should hold mine and I hold yours, or we put it in a box and we don't open that motherfucker.
Or Cama Lounge buys their own land.
Ooh, see, now we thinking big.
And nobody could take anything from us, and it'll be ours.
Book smart.
Yeah, I always thought that was pretty cool. Like you always see like in shows and in TV and movies, like they dig up something from like 1965 or some shit, and it's like 2001 or 2015 or some shit like that. And yeah, that's cool.
I mean, for me, I have the VHS where like I was a baby. My family was really good at recording.
No, of course, like you have.
No, but that's great. But also like writing it, because like you really have to put your thoughts into paper. Like your handwriting changes. Like how do you feel in that exact moment?
But like the yearbook that they made you, we made you, because I was a part of it. Like I feel like that's
the whole shit written.
That's part of like the nostalgia. Like now it's like
because you read it and you're like, oh my god, did I say that?
Yeah. Then years from now, it's gonna be like, whoa, and like even pictures, like, like even that's sort of a time capsule of its own.
It's important to have it. It's important to have it.
And then you still like I still have like fucking report cards and
Oh yeah, I have them from
like
kindergarten, second
essays and
grade.
reports I did from like high school.
I'm a hoarder. I told you.
I
Like
guess that's
keep
kind
them
of a cap. That's kind of a cap. You know what? We should do an episode like that.
where we like get the most interesting stuff we still have.
Something stupid that we wrote or find or drew.
I
Like
still have
artwork.
passing notes from third grade. I have it in my grandma's like gaveta.
No way.
Yeah, like me and some girl we was talking. I think we was talking maybe about a boy or something. I have
Yeah,
it.
you guys
I saw it.
you guys are scissoring early. That's not funny.
But it's good. Like we know the value of it, which is why we want to imply that in our kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I used to work in an eviction warehouse before, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, like material shit, whatever. Like you had this TV, throw it out. Like you got evicted, whatever. Like I feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
But when people wouldn't come back for their photo albums, that used to kill me.
Would you know why they didn't come back?
They didn't come back for the whole storage because they couldn't pay for it or they just didn't care. And then material
Or both.
Or both. Yeah, because of the type of people that would get evicted from the house. But like the TVs, whatever, like you can resell it or you could just throw it out because it doesn't work or now we're upgrading. But to see albums and albums of pictures, just like it's going to the dump. It's going to the dump. That shit to me was like, damn.
Maybe they were miserable during that time and they don't want to remember that ever.
True. Like you never exactly. Like you don't know what the animal is thinking. You don't know what they're thinking.
Like there's a lot of things like I be thinking of stupid shit that I've done in the past. That I'm like, why the fuck? There was one time that I used to like this girl and I literally went fucking across town to get her Chipotle.
Aww, the stuff we used to do.
And I went to her house and we did nothing. And I'm not saying that.
Are you disgusting?
I got her Chipotle to do.
No, I get it.
But like, I think I just stood there for like 20. And she wasn't kicking me out or anything, but like I left. And I was like, why did
you even go that hard? Yo, that's when guys used to have, because I remember one que me dijo, like I was like, he wanted to hang out. I'm like, I can't, like I have cramps or whatever. He's like, I'll go and I'll get you ice cream. Like he just wanted to see me. But I'm like, I just don't feel good. Like
that's bad funny.
Like
we do it. We've done.
Right. Let's say if I was to call you now, you wouldn't do that unless that's like your significant other, right? Like you wouldn't just do it for some random girl you're gonna go see for 20 minutes. I'm pretty sure that kid wouldn't either. Like, it's just you think differently when you're young.
Yeah.
You think Chipotle and a scoop of ice cream is gonna do the trick.
Some nookie. Hi, Miley. Where can them little kids inside the elephants find you?
I'm mad. You still remember that out of everything we spoke today.
That was just funny.
They can find me on Instagram and Twitter. Something about Marielle. Damn. Jose.
You guys can...
Wait, but he never gives me the moment to come up with one. Where can Chipotle find you?
Chipotle can find me at... you guys can catch me at Jose _ that's MMMJOSE _ on Instagram. You guys can also catch us at the Super4 Bros on Instagram and YouTube as well. And you can catch us at Patreon. Patreon.com/micamalounge. We got a lot of stuff there, a lot of content, a lot of exclusive content that you can't see anywhere else, right? So we have different tiers. I think we have time to explain the tiers. So we have 3 different tiers, right?
Dollar number 1.
So the first tier, dollar number 1, for $1, you get to see every episode early before it comes out on Wednesday on YouTube.
Dollar number 3.
Dollar number 3, that is our second tier. For $3, you get everything you get in tier 1. Plus extra content that you won't get anywhere else, only on the Patreon.
Dollar number 5.
And $5 also, which is beyond full, right?
Beyond full.
So the first tier is just full. The third tier
is fuller. No.
I forgot what the second tier is.
It's the $3 one though.
Yeah. Look it up, search it up so we can. So it's full.
Tell them about number 5.
And no, there's only 3 tiers.
I know.
And that's the $5 one.
Yeah.
So the third tier is $5, which is beyond full, where you get everything you get in tier 1, everything you get in tier 2, plus extra content behind the scenes and we shout your name. Maybe we should start. We should start shouting their names.
We do
and
that.
You get more interaction with us on the Patreon. So we could go live. You could talk to us. We answer Q&As, whatever you want for $5 a month.
Now, this is all to help, the podcast continue going. We've been going.
Growing, yes.
We've been going 11 months strong. 11 months strong.
Strong, yes.
Monstros. All right. So to become a patron, first $1, full.
Full.
$3, super full.
Super full. Oh, yeah, super
and
full.
$5 is the beyond full. And for all of them, you get the promos.
And you get promo codes for the fullshop.com.
Yes.
Exclusive discounts, exclusive content. And it's only payment once a month. So you could pay $1 every month, you could pay $3 every month, or you could pay $5 every month. And that helps us continue with the show, make better content for you guys. Yes. And since the holidays are coming.
Oh, good things are coming.
Yes, they are. We already have few patrons, but we could have more. And this month and next month
is big months.
Whatever we get from the Patreon, we're gonna donate it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes. And if we don't reach our goal of 20 Patreons, let's break
it down.
Let's ask for 20 Patreons, right? So if we get 20 Patreons, all that money is gonna go. We're gonna pick next episode. We're gonna pick who we want to donate to.
For sure.
But if we don't get the 20 Patreons, yes, we're still gonna donate with whoever
we pick.
No, whoever became a patron.
Oh yeah.
Even if it's not 20, we'll donate and we'll put the rest to match whatever
the goal was.
Yes. So
hopefully we'll have all that information next week for you.
Hopefully we get 20 Patreons by the end of December.
Yep. And
help us reach our goal. And we still got to throw eggs at each other.
Coño, se está poniendo frío, mi gente. Come on.
It's getting cold. You guys don't look like y'all want us to throw eggs at each other. So help us reach 200 subscribers.
Don't let that shit be frozen by the time.
So we can egg her. All right? And do it before the holidays or after the holidays. Because I don't want to be throwing eggs at her for Christmas. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.